Good afternoon, Gossip Talk Show's family. It's Nomsa here at Gossip Talk Show's Find Your Own Voice, led from within. So with me today, guys, I'm on my own, and let's just enjoy the topic of today. So the topic for today is: Are you a woman who slept around before marriage? So to get things very clear at Ngozi Talk Shows, we cover all subjects from all walks of life and things that affect people within the community, men and women. But there's one thing we don't do at Ngozi Talk Shows: we don't judge anyone. And I'm sure my audience are the same as well. So we love to hear from people's stories, because when we put the topic as the topic that people go through in life, is the things that feelings that people have to go through, the feelings that people have to deal with. And no matter how much we try to ignore it, but it does happen within the community. There are some women out there who still feel ashamed of the things that they have gone through in life. So at Ngozi Talk Shows, when we talk about the topic, it is because it is us um, letting our audience know, and anyone around the world that watches Ngozi Talk Shows family, that it is okay to go through whatever you go through without feeling shame with whatever the situation. There's some people who are ashamed of their past. There are some people who feel guilty of their past. There are some people who actually don't, who have stopped writing their future because of the things that they've gone through in the past. So here at Ngozi Talk Shows, we help our audience to understand that actually past does not define you. You get to write your own story how you want it. And here at Ngozi Talk Shows, because when we actually focus on God, if we were to go to God, God says, come to me as you are, with your past, with your burden. So that's why I like to talk about all different topics. So let's get into the topic. So today we're going to cover the whispers of yesterday, crossroad of choices, anchors of the heart, the unseen battles. When you have to go through that, that means there is a battle that is somebody is battling inside, embracing the shadows, reflecting in the mirror. We have to reflect everything that we go through in life. We have to reflect the reflection, the turning point. Whatever we go through in life, we have to find a turning point, pieces of the puzzle. In order to find your identity, you have to put the pieces together, and then once you complete the puzzles, then you find your identity. Beneath the surface, the light of forgiveness, forgiving ourselves for the things that we have to go through, mending the broken heart, the new dawn, the journey within towards the brighter tomorrow. So those are the things that I'm gonna try to cover this. So let's get into diving in Gossip Talk Show's family. So welcome to this family talk show, and today let's just, I like to ask questions. Are you a woman out there? If you are a woman out there who slept around before marriage, please do leave a comment. If you do see this video somehow, or you come across it, don't feel ashamed about it. I don't like my audience to feel ashamed. Don't even feel like people are gonna judge me. I don't want to comment because people are gonna see my name and then gonna judge me. Who cares? When people judging you, it means that they are still in that level. But when you are in the level of personal development, you cannot judge anyone because of their past. The past is the past, is what people go through. So please do leave a comment. So don't just like at the beginning, like I said, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here wanting somebody to feel ashamed. Um, if the controversy become the controversy, let it become that. This talk show is a space for honest, where people can be who they want to become. They can speak honestly about their past and where they are heading about their destiny. And we empower people, we empower women, we empower men. So if you are ready, let's peel back and just get into the subject. So according to the study, when I was doing the research, uh, the intimacy have evolved tremendously over the years. The question is, how does this impact our perception of pre-marital relationship? So we all hear stories from women who embraced their journey, the lessons they have learned, and how they navigated societal expectations. But remember, everyone's story is unique. So if you are a woman out there who has gone through this topic, is slipping around, you have to know that your story is unique. How you respond after that story is how God is able to actually take your life to the next level. So I'm gonna talk about the woman number one when I received the comment after this. This woman says, for me, exploring relationship before marriage was about understanding myself better. It wasn't just about the physical aspect, but emotional growth too. That's her point, a point of view about sleeping around. And the woman number two, she says, I faced a lot of judgment, even from close friends. It was tough, but I learned to understand strong in my choices. So what do you guys think? These two women, they're two different women. So these stories highlight, the two stories, they highlight a spectrum of experiences. It's about the journey they have gone through, not just the destination, right? Everyone can agree with me. So it's important to understand that so sexual history does not define your worthy or the quality of your future relationship. So some people, they judge themselves based on what they decide to do. It's all about the contents and personal values. So after all that, when you go through that, you decide to sleep around and stuff. What are your personal values? Because some of it is the identity. Some people, they get lost with their identity. Some of it is their different cultures. Um, they have they they have different views on this topic as well. Some are more liberal, while others hold the traditional beliefs. So we're going to explore that. I would love to hear like different cultures as well, what they think about this. I know there's some, I had a guy the other day, like in church, this guy was asking, one of the pastors was asking that why is it so, like if you go on holiday, you see Muslim women, they go swimming fully dressed. They cannot take off their clothes, they cannot show their bodies. But their husband, they get to take off their clothes. And so he was confused. That party was like he needed somebody to explain that culture. Why do women have to cover themselves? Why do men have to not have to cover themselves? And mostly in sexually, physically, sexually active as well, they do that. Many mostly Muslim men actually that I've met, they're married, some of them, not all of them, but they want to have women on the side. So then I asked them, why do you do that? Why do you have to have this uh, women on the side? And they explained that when they get married to their cousins. And when they get married to their cousins, their relatives, it's not really about the attraction or anything. It's just the culture. It has to happen. If they don't do that, they get disowned by family members. They get cut off by family members. Which is, it happens most of the time. Even my web designer, his family cut his mom off because her mom met a husband that she loved, that she met and fell in love with, which wasn't related to her. So the family cut both of them off. So they were cut off. They're both from the uh, uh, same culture. So now the question is now coming back to the women that slip around. There are some cultures where they can look at it and say it is okay. There are some cultures where they can look at it and say it's not okay. But for me, as the Gospel Talk Shows family, somebody who is a Christian, who believe in God, I will say myself, it's none of my business. Why it's none of my business is because that person, they make a choice. Their life is their lives, and they make a choice that this is who they want to become. Or sometimes the problems that have presented to them, they have to deal with them. And for me, as an outsider, I'll just come in and not knowing the story and just judge them. So that's why I created this talk show, not to judge anyone, just to talk about all the conversation that affect community, people within the community, and also for everybody to feel free that they can actually express how they feel about their lives and their journey, because everything is all about God. But what does God say? Um, I don't know if anyone remember the prostitute in the Bible, where this woman actually, God, she was ashamed. Her family actually, let me find the story so I can explain it properly. Um, God forgave her and told her not to sin no more. But he had mercy on her, prostitute, in the Bible. I think it's in the New Testament. What does the Bible say about prostitution? This woman, it's in Luke. We can find it in Luke 8, verse 2. And a sinful woman anointed Jesus' feet. And when she anointed Jesus' feet, her perfume was very, very expensive. And people could not understand, but Jesus stopped everything that moment. And actually, her sins were washed away because she believed that she is a sinner. She sinned against God. She didn't care how big God was, but all she wanted was his forgiveness. She went and humbled herself, and God forgave her, and her life was never the same. So that's why I'm saying I'm not here to judge, because we can do the things that we do in life if we repent and just come to God and say, I'm not ashamed of what I've been through in life, but I humble myself before you and I wash away my sin. I ask the blood to wash away my sin. And that person can live their life. The reason why I'm sharing this story is some people, they are ashamed of their past. And that past has deprived them living the life that they should be living now. They are like, because of my past, I cannot date men because of what I did, or I was a prostitute before, or whatever I did. I've never was a prostitute, guys, so that you guys know that. But should somebody who's been a prostitute be ashamed? of their past, my answer is no. The reason why my answer is no is if God forgave this woman, that means we don't have a say when somebody that is going through all that, we don't have a say for what they have gone through to judge them. I know there are some people who judge, but I'm not here to judge, to condemn anyone. So it's a personal choice. For me, I personally think it's a personal choice, and society should not detect what's right, what's wrong in someone's private life. But the preachers, like in the Bible, the preachers, they should direct. They can preach to direct somebody to repent so they can find their life, cleanse their life so they can move away from that pain that they've gone through. In my culture, I believe that if you were to become a prostitute, people, families will disown you. That's what I believe, that they would disown you. And so now let's talk about whispers of yesterday. What does it mean, whispers of yesterday? Whispers of yesterday is it's personal space. It's a flashback. Is it's the flashback of a woman or uh reflecting back on her youth, painting a picture of her life. That's why I decided to call it Whispers of Yesterday. Picture of her life before the event that shaped her life. So those things in that woman, innocent and naivety. That's what I call it. Innocence of youth is where choices are made without the foresight of that long-term impact. Freedom in exploration, and also dive into the themes of freedom. Exploration is the when somebody makes that decision that can be seen as right or thrilling, or that moment people can see it as wrong. So to me, that is a freedom as well. Protagonist, the words of a youth persona. And this is where we can be depicted as someone vibrant, full of life, and perhaps a bit of impulsive in her younger days. Some people, they can describe that on my younger days, I didn't care, I would sleep around because I was full of life. And in doing so, they are supporting their character. And so what are the key decisions for actually that can affect somebody from their past that will later play a significant role in their journey? Some people, when they go through this life, or in general, there are some people who actually they go through this and then they pick themselves up. They find they find love, they get married, they have children, they live happily ever after. They are because they ask God to forgive them, or it's either they forgive themselves. And there are some people who will go through this. They slip around before they get married, but they never get up. The reason why I'm saying they never get up is because of the choices. Sometimes the choices that we make in life, they can either help build us, or they can either play a role in our lives that we feel ashamed. We feel that no one is going to date. A woman can feel that no man will want to date them if they tell them their past, what they have gone through. But that's when it plays a part now. The choices that we have made, it plays a part. But for me, if somebody has a past and they've decided to rewrite that wrong for right, I don't see why they should feel ashamed. I don't see why they should allow the guilty, the chains of I'm not enough, the chains of no one is going to want me, to chain them. That is my personal opinion. But I love to hear a woman who has gone through it. Like I said at the beginning, I have those two women that actually they explained their feelings. The other one, she's happy with what she did, what she has gone through, the choices that she's made. The other one is not happy with the choices that she's made. So I love to hear different, um, those different style and also whispers of yesterday. Some also is a journey back in the time exploring uh, protagonist past with a sense of nostalgia and introspection is basically the foundation of life, the choices that we make that create our foundation anchors of heart. Anchors of heart, it means is the how people react to every situation emotionally. It can be different, and it can also depending with somebody's their emotional complex, which is it can be really really different. Sometimes people can have a flashback of their event, the memories can affect them, and how they responded to that past, and it can also affect somebody um, in a long term. So the intensity of vulnerability, sometimes people can actually, you just have to be vulnerable enough to actually, when you share your story, or like if you want to, if you leave a comment, you don't have to worry about what people think when it comes to the anchor of heart. The anchors of the heart is deeply, is an emotion that when somebody decided to explore their inner world, they decided to explore their struggle within their feelings, that the past choices that have stayed within her, and the quest of emotional clarity and peace. Some people, they have found peace after that. When we talk about sleeping around, guys, we talk about there are some people who decided to sell their body. There are some people who decided to make, just go out and just have fun. They call it fun, sleeping around. But it's a journey into a heart that can actually, when it is basically having the clear understanding of your emotional stages of your ongoing journey towards self-discovery and reconciliation with your with past. There are some people that they do this, like on the topic, they do that to slip around, but they reconcile with their past within because they want to live in peace. But there are some people who don't live in peace. The reason why they don't live in peace, it becomes a battle. When something that was beautiful before somebody saw it as beautiful, when it becomes a battle, it means um, challenges. Sometimes it's challenges that women go through, they have to deal with in our society. And it's the personal repercussion of having bad multitude of romantic and sexual partners that people decide to do. But some people, they decide to do it and it does not affect them. They don't feel affected. But some people, it does affect them because of the stigma, and also people judging them harshly. And that's why I call it the unseen battle. Um, so let's look at the stigma and judgment. Um, stigma and judgment is sometimes people can face it and through relationship, or sometimes if there is somebody who knows them, when they do meet their somebody who loves them for who they are, they meet a relationship, and then if there is a friend who knows their past, they might bring up to their spouse now and say, oh, do you know that this person used to be a prostitute? Or do you know that this person, before they met you, they used to sleep around? But is it necessary? I know there are some people who have gone through that way. They will meet somebody, they will have a past and meet somebody that they love. And once they meet the person that they love, they build a relationship. And then if friends or family, if they know their past, they will reveal it to their current spouse and say, do you know that this person used to be like this? But what we need to understand is if we have people like that in our society that are not building, that is tearing someone's life apart. That's how I see it, that gossip can tear someone's life apart. If somebody decide, like if somebody slept around before they met their husband and they decided to share it with their husband, for me, the choice is up to them. If they decide not to share it with that person, or they believe that I have gone through forgiveness, I've had to forgive myself, and I decide not to talk about it, it's also none of anybody's business, because it's between that person and God. When they face the judgment, it will be God that is going to judge them, not a human being, not us. And that's why when I listen to the speakers, they say, people's opinions are none of your business. And the court says that people's opinion are none of your business, which is that. So, guys, if you have ever slept around, by the way, before you get married, or just doing it for fun, I love to hear how you've been able to navigate to a serious relationship and how you've been able to deal with it in a serious relationship. Or because there might be some people who have slept around before and they've never really recovered because of circumstances. Some people simple, they do it because they feel they don't have a choice. Or sometimes if we go to these countries that are living, they have a high rate of poverty. Sometimes the women feel that they have to get into prostitution to sleep around so they can have money to support themselves. Or if you have ever been in that situation, please don't worry about the people saying your name. Just comment. I love to hear the comment. Honestly, I love to hear people's different opinions. And also it's very, very important to actually when you reflect on your story about this unseen battle, it's very, very powerful for anyone that is watching there to actually to be, when you talk about something, to be forefront about your emotions and how you feel and the challenges that you faced as a woman gambling through this sexual whatever you have to go through. And also explain how you have had to face the judgment, the conflict that endures through our society. And very, very important. And also shadow self, because when you sleep around, it becomes a shadow. But then there are some people who have great personality who knows how to embrace that shadow self, embracing the shadows. So embracing the shadows is personal reflection and the encouragement. So how were you able to sit in that room on your own or maybe retreat, or did you have to go to retreat, or uh, do you have any flashback? So those are the questions that um, people have to go through, and also self-acceptance. How were you able to accept yourself? I love to hear those things because those are the things that affect people later. Self-acceptance is very, very big. That sometimes people um, they struggle to accept their life, and because of their past, um, and also how they've been able to develop through growth and maturity. I love to hear that, guys. If you're somebody who is watching the video, some people get emotionally affected by emotion. It affects the emotional growth and maturity, as when a woman learns to embrace her entire self, including her past. Sometimes it can break you or it can build you. So, so those are the things that comes with it. Inner strength as well and resilience. So if you are somebody that has had to go gain strength and resilience facing accepting your past rather than denying or running from it, um, so it's very, very, very important. I love to hear from you guys. And when you go through those kind of things, that they come to a point where you have to do transformative experience. When you do transformative experience, it means uh, you have to go through the challenges, accepting the challenges, and reflecting and empowering, and that also it comes with it, accepting yourself as a woman, and and also there's a process where you have to come to terms with with your past. Um, you have to come to terms with a society judgment, because in our society we live in a very judgmental society, where if people know you surrounding your sexual history, people can judge you, and also the experiences and everything that comes with it, and also um, the struggles that women have to go through this. When a woman sleeps around, it means that there is a struggle within that they're going through. It means there is a conflict within it that they are going through. And in order for them to overcome that, they have to find either another woman that empower them, or they have to find that empowerment and self-acceptance within. And that self-acceptance within that can bring hope, that can bring resilience, so that when that brings hope, and that person becomes a role model. So that's why it's very, very important to actually, when you have a story, not to hide it and to speak about it, because someone it might change someone else's story. Reflecting, reflection in the mirrors. Reflecting in the mirrors is intimate environment where somebody has to reflect the journey where they've been through. Self-real self-realization, when somebody realizing uh, the journey towards where they are going, confronting themselves with the truth about herself or her journey, that is confronting the past, and confronting the reality. So it's very, very, very important to actually understand your character's development, because character developed in different places. And if somebody depth of self understanding, and if somebody decided to say, you know what, I'm going to develop my character regardless of my past, but I'm going to develop my character based on my fears. I'm gonna deal with my fears. I'm gonna work, I'm gonna actually grow, understand my desires so I can motivate myself and later motivate others. And in that way, there is a balance of accepting who that woman is and wanting to change certain aspects of her life. So that is, to me, if somebody has gone through that pain and they like, okay, there are some people who sleep around because of within their heart, there is something that wasn't fulfilled, or sometimes within the parents that it's more to do with childhood attachment, where somebody they just want to do, they just want to, they call it fun, that I just want to have fun, but it's not really fun. And then there are some people that sleep around because they they feel that no one wants them. In their mind, they psychologically they make a decision that no one wants them. So in doing so, they're going to revenge on men. And people do that, that men don't want them. So in doing that, I'm just going to go around and they will just slip around and hurting men, breaking people's heart. So there are some people that do that. And that is a chain, is the sign of chain that needs to break. So if you're somebody that has to go through those challenges and go after going through those challenges, and then you come through and critically examine self-examination, and those are the moment that sometimes the people have to go through. But it can be mixed emotions. Talking about listening to those two women, they are mixed emotions. So this other woman has gone through the process of looking into her inward and confrontation, one's true self, wanting to change. And there's another woman, what she's gone through, she has regrets. And because she has been judged in the society. So those are different things that people have to go through. I'm sure there's loads of women out there who have gone through similar things and they've been judged. So I love to hear them. I love to hear from you guys how you made a turning point to the situation, and unveiling your journey, and also the dynamic of your environment, how you were able to actually turn your life around. So I love to hear all that. And when we talk about change, change is a transformation. When somebody transforms their life, it's a change. It's a big change. It's a change where um, they are changing. They made a choice. When they made that choice, they took action. After taking action, they had to think about their future. And then after thinking about their future, that person had to make a decision to say, I'm not going to live like this. So I choose to love myself. That is an impact of life path. That has impacted her path. But through that, they have made a decision that I'm going to change. And making that decision, there must have been a series of events that have led them to do those major changes in their lives, and so they can understand themselves, and so they can rediscover themselves, work on their personal growth and empowerment. Um, pieces of the puzzle, putting pieces of the puzzle together. That is somebody reflecting on their space, having a flashback and rediscovering, self-discovering themselves, and personal growth within as well. And the resilience and determination. That is a determination. And when a woman decided to change her life, that is a determination. And she is telling herself that I am no longer going to let my past define, connecting past and present. So I choose to write my past, rewrite my past to the present moment. And so these connections that can lead to somebody approaching their life in a different way. And also the beginning of when somebody begin to actually understand the big picture of their future, their path, where they are going. In order to understand your big picture of your life comes with the self-discovery. It also comes with the self-acceptance. It also comes with the empowerment when somebody decided to empower themselves, and they can either understand how their past can shape their present future, or how it can influence their future, and actually choose to rewrite their story how they want to write it. There are so many things that comes with it. Uh, that person, they come to an understanding of their individuality and their independence, that I'm gonna have the courage to take a risk and change my life. They explore so many things. Having the courage, it takes a lot of things to actually take a risk that involves that decision. When somebody decide that they're gonna have strength and determination to actually self-discover and grow, that is a big decision. A decision that no one should judge, because it's a new path. So if somebody believe that, okay, Nomsa, I've tried to make some changes in my life, and I feel that every time I make some changes, people will still judge me based on my past. I love to hear your comment, because at the end of the day, when we decide to focus on the journey along our new path, it's all about us. It's all about that woman, nothing to do with anybody else. And there are challenges that comes that way when somebody decide that they want to change their lives. There are risk that comes with it. Risk is um, having to make that decision that somebody can have regrets. Um, and also you have to go through step by step of forgiveness. Going step by step of self-forgiveness is no one is born and say, I'm going to choose to live this life. But when people do decide to live that life, there's a light of forgiveness that people have to go through. When you have to go through that unapologetic, it means that I'm confronting my emotions. The scenes and the illustration that I have gone through, that I recognize them. I recognize the events, that the memories that I hold, that I have, the reflection of my past, I recognize them, the flashback, but I choose to actually the scene of empathy. I choose to sympathize with myself. I choose to actually accept what happened when somebody decided to forgive themselves and rewrite their new chapter in their life. It means they're saying, I'm in this present moment. I accept what has happened, and I choose to actually make changes in my life instead of dwelling of on what would have been. Moment of acceptance, I choose to actually lead with grace. I choose to letting go of resentment of my past, and I choose to release these negative emotions. I work on my letting go, any resentment, any anger, any bitterness. And I don't want to carry the emotions that are going to harm my future. And I embrace forgiveness. And embracing forgiveness, the sin of forgiveness is where the person would decide that um, I want to find a relief and peace. When somebody wants to find peace within, it means they want to look to the future. They want to look to the future that is different. Sorry, my book is itching. So they want to look to the future that is different. And they want to make some changes in their lives. They want a new look on their lives. Uh, and they know that there is hope for them to change that. And they are also reflecting on their healing. And with compassion. So the light of forgiveness is very, very crucial when it comes to the stories that when somebody has had that foundation from the beginning. So you have to go through the process of forgiveness. What is the process of forgiveness easy? It's not easy. So that's why it's very, very important when you go through forgiveness, you have to avoid people that are very, very judgmental. The reason why you have to avoid people that are judgmental when you go through forgiveness is people will always judge you for what you are, for whatever some reason, whether you do good or you do bad, people will always judge you. And they have a right to their own opinion as well, but you get to write your own story, how you want to write it. You get to embark on that new beginning. Um, where you tell yourself, where you can actually tell yourself that I have learned, I've grown from my past, from my past, and I have grown from my past experiences, and now I'm focusing on taking step towards a new phase of life, filled with hope, filled with learning and renewal. So those are the things, and then that's when new dawn comes, where when you bring a new dawn in your life, is you're welcoming the new beginning of life. You're welcoming the sins of the decision, and you are letting go of your past, completely letting go of your past. You are releasing the old. You're working on your letting go of past habit, your thoughts, relationship that no longer serve you well, your well-being. So you're letting go. You're releasing the old, and you're working on your letting go of, and also you're setting new goals. So if you are that person that has had to sleep around before marriage, and now that has affected your entering into another new relationship, because you feel that I'm going to be judged by men if I tell them set new goals. And when you set new goals, don't go back to it. Set new goals, leave the past behind. Don't go back to it. Take action of initiating new action. Those action have to be like forming a new bond, and making new friends, acknowledging your journey, and reflecting on it, growth, reflecting on the moment, and also doing things that uplift you, and working on your identity. So it's very, very important to actually take all these steps moving forward to your future, and also reflecting on your growth and transforming your life into through the experiences, and also getting rid of the things that don't serve you anymore, and When you get rid of the things that don't serve you anymore, it serves as an inspiring message for the power of new beginning and the endless possibilities that will come with it, that embracing the change. So the journey within now, that's when the journey within comes in. The journey within comes in through the shadow of your past, where you just have to look at the things where you work on your identity, on your character, exploring your inner thoughts and feelings, and confronting your inner challenges, whatever things that the conflict that you face in life, confronting them, discovering your inner strength. That is very, very important, and also recognizing your personal strength, empowering scenes, anything that is empowered you through that journey, learning self-compassion, learn to be kind to yourself and more compassionate towards accepting yourself and the imperfections and mistakes. And some people refuse to let go of mistakes. And when you decided to embrace your authenticity, embracing your true self, it means uh, you are actually authentically moving forward with the life unapologetic, and also it's a personal choice. And that's where you find your inner peace, and that's where you create visions, reflect on the things, and finding new love if it's possible, and unapologetic, and whether deciding to tell your spouse or you don't tell them about your future, it's none of anybody's business that moment, but it's also um and also setting a brighter future, reflecting on everything that is happening, planning the future for yourself, and setting goals, goal settings, and doing all these things that makes you happy in life and not dwelling on the past. Is very, very, very important when you actually decide to actually look into a brighter future. And so this story of sleeping around before marriage, um, it all comes down to self-discovery. It's all come down to somebody finding growth through that pain. It's all somebody finding hope, creating a future that they want later on. It's all somebody embracing new challenges and opportunities. It's all somebody transforming their lives and the endless possibilities that wait and along the way, positive and open mindset. That's creating a open or positive mindset. So guys, if you are somebody who has gone through that and they said, no, I had to sleep around it before because, or sometimes people do it not because they don't have confidence, because they want to see different. If you were to speak to different women, they'll tell you that I just wanted to have experience before I get married, or I wanted to have experience before I settle down, and just see how it feels like to date different men. But for me, I didn't have to do that because dating different men, it wouldn't, I think it wouldn't have been like sleeping around with the different men is exhausting, but that is my choice. One man is exhausting anyway. To be able to satisfy a man is exhausting, and also psychologically, when it comes to when we have sex with somebody, that somebody deposits something. It's a connection. So it's energy that connects with another energy. So it's very, very important to actually if those youngsters, that if you watch this video later, it's very, very important to understand that sometimes psychologically, if we feel that we didn't get enough love from our parents, or we feel that there is a childhood attachment that is affecting our relationship or our dating life, instead of creating more problems, try to deal with that direct, personally, whatever personal that things, or sometimes it could be parents, or sometimes it could be you felt that you were not enough with your parents, or they felt that they wanted more of you, or they wanted you to become this child that amazing, or become a doctor, and you did not want to become a doctor, or whatever that is, and they affected your life. So if there are people that are watching, try not to judge other people. And if you are somebody who is going through that, you're feeling ashamed, try not to feel ashamed. We all have to go through life sometimes that we feel ashamed. The good thing is God is there to listen to your problems. God is there to help you cleanse your life, is there to help you rewrite your destiny, rewrite your past how you wanted to rewrite it. So never feel guilty, never feel ashamed of whatever that past is. But if you are a man or a woman who has gone and slept with different women for some reason, please feel free to. I love to hear different people's opinions and different people's story. Or if you want an interview, you can get in touch with me. God bless everyone. Um, Live with Grace. And if you want to connect with me, please go to my website and sign up if you're looking for love. And if you want to connect me through coaching, with me through coaching, go to the website as well and sign up as well. Live with Grace, everyone, and God bless.